honestly.
You've decided he's not coming yet? Or you think we have food?
That was the first baby right there. The brown one. Not the first cow they got, the first baby they had. Her name is Candy. She loves Popo. Yes. Yes. That's Dexter's baby Duke calling for Popo.
Good morning, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. Well, it's that time of the year, guys. Actually, we're a little bit behind schedule, if you want to say that. Normally, we get our English peas in ahead of time. But what we've realized is, you know, all the cold weather came in, all this kind of stuff happened, and we've got knocked back because I couldn't get into the field. It was too wet because the snow kind of like kept the ground really wet for a long time. So today was the first day, which is the 30th of January. First day we could get out here and do anything and work the soil, and it's not wet and packy or anything like that. So what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and try to open the row up with this here. Now, I could have used the Cub tractor and done all this, but guys, right now I've got the sickle bar on the Cub and I haven't had time to take all that stuff off and put all the arms and all back on it. It's a really big process. It's just faster for me to jump on the Kubota, take the 3-point hitches and hook everything up and just make one row. Because we're only planting one row of English peas here. We're going to have a bunch in the high tunnel. We're going to be experimenting this year with the Lincoln English peas because they're supposed to be more heat tolerant than all the other varieties we've ever used, especially the Louisville Marble, which is our #1 for the Deep South down here. And this year being a year we're supposed to have extreme heat even early, we're going to try to go ahead and get these in and see if we can't still get a crop of peas in, so we'll have our English peas. But now we're not going to be fertilizing right off the bat. I just haven't had time to work the soil, do what I need to do. We're going to go ahead and put them in, and I'm not putting the trellis up today. We're just going to put the peas in, try to get them up, because we've got another big supposedly freeze system coming in like a week and a half. And I didn't want to put this trellis system up and have the ground get messed all up again and the peas not work and then have to take it all back down. So my thought is we're going to plant the peas. We're going to give them time to come up and just be little peas. And then we'll put the trellis system up and see if then if we make it through the cold spell without killing the peas or anything to that nature. So especially being if these are more heat tolerant, I guess I should say. So I'm going to take this weapon of choice here, and I'm going to go down through here and open the row up. Now this is a, I don't know what you call it, to be honest with you. It looks like an opening plow on a tractor. So I'm going to just do it by hand. I'm going to go down through here, and we're going to try to make us one row of English peas. Say, baby girl, what y'all doing, huh?
See if Candy wants some more coffee.
You want some more coffee, Miss Candy, huh? So,
No.
no. You doing, Miss Hadassah? What you doing, girl? What you doing? Come on, baby girl. Come on.
What? So pet him on the neck?
You pet him behind the neck, or you doing, little man, huh?
I don't want to get pegged by your horns. Okay.
You doing, girl? Huh? Where's my baby girl? Where's my baby girl? Hurry, it's a good baby girl. Yeah, hurry, it's a good baby.
That one loves to be rubbed.
She loves attention. Yeah.
They like they want to, but they don't know. You ain't got food in your hands. And since I gave Candy some coffee, she's standoffish.
She's not happy.
You're not happy since you got coffee, huh? Okay, guys, the Lincoln peas we have here, we ordered from St. Clair Heirloom Seeds. They're a new company that we're actually looking into. And we have some information in my pocket here from them. They specialize in non-GMO, non-hybrid, non-treated, heirloom, and open pollinated vegetables, flower, and herb garden seeds. One of the crazy things about the stuff they sent, they even show you how to save your own seeds. Now, most seed companies won't do that because it cuts away from their business. But they actually do that, and they also have a system where you can give away a gift card. And today, Wanda and I, in this video, is going to give away a gift card to somebody. I don't know exactly who or how that's going to happen just yet, but what I'd like for you to do, if you raise English peas, or green peas, a lot of people call them green peas, let us know in the comment. Tell me about the variety that you raise, where you live at, and if you've ever used St. Clair Heirloom Seeds before. It's kind of interesting to me because we've never used them before. We just run across them and thought we'd give them a shot and see how they do. And maybe some of y'all have used them before, and maybe you know a little bit more about the company than I do, and any information would be appreciated. Now, as mentioned in one of my manuals that I have written, I tell you in there that the wrinkliness of the seed lots of times will tell you the sugar content of that seed. These have some of them that's really wrinkled, some of them are not so wrinkled. So we really don't know with the Lincolns just yet about the sweetness of the pea because we've never grown it before. All we really grow down here is the Little Marvel. I've done it for like 30-something years, and it has always proven to be the most prolific pea we've ever grown, but it can't take the heat. And the solar cycle 25 that we're in now, the heat is beginning to come in earlier and earlier and more intense. So wisdom says, hey, move to a seed that may be more heat tolerant this year. So that's what we're going to do with these. Now we're hoping that it's not a total flop this year. And if you're interested in growing English peas, I do have a manual that I have wrote. It'll be on our Etsy store at deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. You can find that manual there along with a carrot manual and a sweet potato manual that I've written. And the link will be in the description down below if you're interested in them. They're over on the Etsy store. Not very expensive. They have full photographs from our farm, not something we pulled off the internet. And I think you'll enjoy them because it's like step by step on how we grow what we grow here at Deep South Homestead. You'll see that the way we grow our English peas here at Pecan Grove, and these manuals will work all over the whole United States. They're not just for the Deep South down here. They work anywhere you live in the country at. You shouldn't have any problems. We've sold them actually nationwide, and people have wrote back and told us that it worked perfectly fine in their environments and their climate. Now this particular variety here, it says to plant them 1 to 2 inches apart, which is a little close for the Deep South because of our humidity. So I'm going to like put these maybe 3 to 4 inches apart. I might go a little bit closer than that. Maybe 2 here. If they happen to go to 3, I'm not going to panic about it, because we've learned that in our climate, if we get stuff too close, then we end up with the powdery mildew hitting everything and really taking it out. And plus, this is a 300-foot long row. That's a lot of English peas.
Yeah, and somebody's got to pick them.
Yeah.
Are you coming back to pick English peas?
Absolutely.
I'm going to remind her of that in about 6 weeks.
Okay, I didn't step on anything.
You stepped on the tag. I heard you when you crunched the tag.
I was just like, oh no, I stepped on a plant. Oh, absolutely.
You remember one seed at a time?
I dropped Pawpaw Special corn.
Yep.
And had to pick it all up, didn't you?
One kernel at a time.
One seed at a time. I wouldn't have had to hold the row open or anything.
It would have saved a step.
I'm so used to the old-fashioned way of doing things that I forget. And you know something? When I can look in the row and see the pea, I know that it got planted. Sometimes these planters have big skips in them, and you don't know because it covers them up behind them. This way, I can visually look back. Now, I actually have a planter in the barn over here where I put my peas in the top and drop them down one at a time so I don't have to bend over.
I don't know why you forgot that either.
It's in the barn right there.
I like the view of the camera being close to the ground and the seeds falling in front of it.
Yeah.
Papa's famous tool.
What in the world is that? Do you pour the seeds up there and then they fall out?
Demonstrate, Papa, so she can learn how.
Okay, got those marks on it. Those are our 1-inch marks. These seeds need to be, like it says, 2 inches apart. I'm not going to dump all these seeds in the thing here. I'm just going to leave them up here. So what you do is you put that mark where the seeds are at, and you drop a seed down in this. Oh,
It went behind the dirt clod, I think.
did it?
Maybe not.
Oh, it's stuck in the bottom down yonder. They got a spider web in it. There it comes.
Okay. So now we got spider webs.
Yeah, it had a spider web in it. Okay. You know, and if you don't want to bend over, this is like the ideal way to garden. Very cheap to build, and you don't have to worry about hurting your back or anything like that.
Never bend over too.
Yeah, unless you know if you hit a dirt clod or something like that. That's one thing, but it sure makes, for people who have back problems, it makes gardening way simpler now. And to be honest with you, you can probably do a really good job at spacing things out really good with it if you go by the marks that's on it. Especially if you're trying to really conserve your seeds and not, you know.
The old way was just broadcast.
Back when I was a kid, my dad would have just come down through here. He'd have just been pouring seeds. They'd have probably been ever ½ inch apart. Because his thing was, he grew up, Dad grew up chopping cotton. And his thing was, you just pour the seeds down through there and then you go back later with a hoe and you chop out what you don't want. Because back then, seeds were plentiful. I mean, you didn't pay the ungodly price for seeds that we pay now. You could buy a pound of seeds back then for less than $1. And even when I was a kid, and it's just, I mean, it is kind of ridiculous now as to what we have to pay to get a little pack of seeds. And I mean, to give you, for instance, when I was a kid, we planted fields of tomatoes for market and stuff like that. We went to they didn't call it a co-op, they called it an implement. You went there and they had a big giant number 3 wash tub sitting in the middle of the floor. It had about 2 inches of water in the bottom of it, and they had tomato plants in it, and there was 50 to 100 tomato plants in a bundle with a rubber band around them just sitting in water. They just went and snatched them up out of the ground, sit them in the water. You would buy them by the bundle. It's like $1 for 100. You paid like a penny a plant. Daddy would take the old Cub Farmall and he'd make the rows up and fertilize them and everything, and take his hoe handle and go down through there and pop the holes in the ground. My job was to come behind him with the tomato plants and just drop them in the holes and pour water in on top of them. That's all we did.
And tamp them back.
You know, and we didn't do nothing. We just dropped the tomato plant in there and poured water in around them, and it would take the dirt, would just suck in around the hole. And look, we didn't buy all these plants in little peat pots and all this kind of stuff and try to baby them and stuff like that. Our tomato plants would grow and flourish. Daddy had more tomatoes than we know what to do with. You know what I mean? The world we live in today is, I don't know. It just seems like the more we try to do to make our gardening easier, we actually, if you want to be honest, maybe many times we make it harder on ourselves, and we pay way more money. I mean, $5 now for one tomato plant? My daddy would have had a fit. Gardening may seem like a chore, but the reward at the end is well worth it.
Absolutely.
At least you're not eating the poison stuff from the store. We're fixing to start covering up. I got Miss Faith down there. She's got it kind of figured out now. She's pretty good. We'll let her go. And I'm going to start covering these up. Now it says to cover them about 1 to 1.5 inches deep. We got rain coming tomorrow, so I don't want to cover them too deep and the rain packed down on them, because I really don't know how much rain we're going to get. But I wanted to stop and take a moment. Y'all probably going to ask about the onion. This is the onions here behind you. The freeze pretty much killed most everything on the top of the ground back, and it did wipe out. We're probably about half of them now is gone. It killed the rest of them. We kind of pretty much knew that was going to happen, getting them in this late, because we didn't have enough root structure and enough plant up to be able to stand any kind of frigid cold. So we've got probably, I'd say half or maybe a little less than half left out here, but the ones in the high tunnel, I think they're going to more than make up for what we lose out here in the field. Okay, now we use a garden rake, and I'm not going to cover them up, but maybe, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And then I'm going to come back with this, and I'm going to just like lightly tamp it. Now this will keep the rain from packing it too hard, because I'm going to go ahead and kind of like make good seed soil contact ahead of time. Get these little pieces of grass. Believe it or not, the grass is actually trying to grow already. Ain't that something? I mean, weeds and grass, you don't have any problems growing them, that's for sure. I'm only going to cover them like 1/2 inch deep. That way, if the rain happens to wash this side here down in on them, then they will actually be the inch deep or 1.5 inch deep that the paperwork says that they really should be to start with. And the one reason I use a garden rake is you'll see me grab stuff and pull it out of the row occasionally. Now my daddy, he wouldn't have had this grass in here. My daddy would have come out here ahead of time, and he'd have plowed this field to death. When he got through, this ground would have been like sifted flour. When he put dirt in there on top of that seed, there wouldn't have been nothing in it. He'd have done cleaned it every bit out. Those old people just had a different way of gardening.
Actually produced more food.
Oh, they did produce a lot more food. Yeah, we had the little market stand and all that, and everybody bought from my dad. That's one thing. Everybody. I still remember a lot of his favorite things. Dad would have this time of the year. He'd have collards standing out there that tall, big old giant leaves on them. And my daddy didn't skimp on fertilizer. That's one thing he didn't skimp on. Lime, fertilizer and stuff. Field the size of this in here would have been nothing for him to put 700 pounds fertilizer on it. I mean, he believed in stuff, and he growed stuff now. That's one thing for sure. And just as soon as the warm weather come in, them collards growing right there, he'd plant jalapeno peppers right beside them. And the folks coming down the road would see that collards and jalapenos growing there, and they would stop and they'd buy bunches of collard leaves and a little bag of jalapenos to go in their collard greens whenever they cooked them with their cornbread. Now this variety of English peas says that in 6 to 14 days, these should be up. Other foot.
That's garlic, right?
Lettuce.
I like this lettuce. I made some good salads with the lettuce you gave me last time.
There's a worm somewhere. Oh no 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 no. Look.
A worm?
Yeah, he's fixing dead. He was, see his poop? That's how you knew. I knew he was there. Don't want
Is
lettuce
there
with
more
poop on
here?
it. No.
No.
You'll see how you see those holes eat? And then you see that poop? You can tell there's a worm now. Better not be no more in any of this.
Look at the water just resting right there. That's so pretty.
It's already warm enough I had a worm.
Putting a little bit of fertilizer in here to get these beans up, or peas, get them up going.
What kind of peas?
English peas. They gotta have a little bit of nitrogen to get them going. And once they get going, they make their own. We're gonna take all this irrigation out of here and we're gonna turn that in.
Getting corn cobs.
Yep.
See? We're gonna have corn coming up in here too.
It's possible, I guess. Little pieces left over. That wind is kicking up.
These are dying toward the bottom. I don't know if they're gonna live.
Probably all the deer around in the woods down here running into stuff.
It sounded like a piece of tin fell over. So.
Felt like, but there's no tin down there.
Maybe.
Papa likes playing in the dirt. A little
Good.
dirt don't hurt.
Never too old
Never
to
too
play
old to play in the dirt.
Always remember that. You're never too
Never
old.
too old. All right, so get the rake and hit them other beds. Gotta be raked down and get the little roots out of it.
And everything. Keep grabbing them. Do those disintegrate?
Some of them will.
The other one's over here.
So them up straight, you don't
Wind. Got a nice neat up.
I got to put another one in this bed. It's only got 3. These long beds need 4.
Yeah. Smell ammonia. One makes 1,000.
Yep. And just keep making seeds. All these pepper roots. Boy, this thing is covered up with pepper roots.
And we saved 2 just to see if they come back out and do anything.
They're bright green right now, so we'll see. But this being English peas, we're just gonna, and we're only gonna do them around the outside edges. And if you're wondering why I'm just laying them on top of the ground, it's it ain't no big deal. You just punch them right in the soil.
And the wind is crazy.
It sounds like a hurricane out here today.
I'm telling that wind's crazy. Look at it.
I'm gonna have to put the wiggle wire back on the front up here. It's gonna be snatch your front door off of it. I bet you it's probably blowing 30, 40 miles an hour out there, sound like. A little bit further apart there. Every seed you lose is a plate full of food. Okay, guys, we have finished planting all of our English peas. We have the English peas. Faith helped me plant them in the garden up in the front of the property up here. We have come into the high tunnel now, and she helped me plant the raised beds in here that we were going to plant in English peas in here, and that's the Lincoln variety. It's a new variety for us, supposed to be able to withstand the heat better than the little marble, and because we're supposed to have some, let's just say, more heat this spring and summer than we have been having, we wanted to move to a more heat resistant variety, so we're going to try them. I know we're throwing all of our eggs in one basket, but we feel like we just need to do it. So I have an English pea manual that I have written. If you all are interested in that, it's over on our Etsy store. You can find it there at deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. We have all the ins and outs of planting English peas, all about English peas. Lots of people have bought it and tried it and said they had really good success. Now it works nationwide. It's not just for the Deep South. And we're also going to be probably here in the next week planting another section of our 60-foot raised bed down here with some more Carota carrots. I also have a carrot manual that I have written. It's also over there at the Etsy store at deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. You can see how we plant our carrots there and the little ins and outs that we use. Pictures, everything's there. Our own pictures, not stuff we pulled off the web. And then I also have a manual that I've written on sweet potatoes, because lots of people are getting into growing their own sweet potatoes, because you can grow them in like these tubs right here. You can grow them in this. You can grow them in a raised bed. You can grow them in the Grow Garden bags, you know, all that kind of stuff. We tell you how to create your own slips the right way, not shoving them in a glass of water to make them make slips, but to do it where you have slips to plant all summer long. That is also there at the Etsy store. And guys, we wanted to invite you over to a new seed company that we have tried. We bought our Lincoln English pea seeds from them, and the main reason we bought them from them was that they're non-GMO. They don't treat their seeds and all this kind of stuff. And up front in their literature, they tell you all about saving seeds. Now, when a seed company tells you that how to save seeds and all about it, that interests me, because that's how they make money. You know, I mean, what company wants you to save your own seeds if they're, trying to get you to save your own? So they also have gift cards that you can purchase there. And today, Wanda and I are going to be choosing someone to give a gift card to St. Clair Seeds. You need to leave a comment down below. If you've used St. Clair before, let us know what you think about it, because this is our first year to really use it. We just like the fact that they're heirloom, non-GMO, all this kind of stuff, no treated seeds and all that. That's what we loved about it. And we're also want to know, are you planting in, mineral tubs? Are you planting in raised beds, grow bags, Vego beds? I mean, what are you planting in? Kind of give us an idea about what you're doing in your comments. And out of these comments, we're going to choose somebody to give a gift card to St. Clair Seeds to get whatever seeds you want. I'm not going to choose your seeds for you. I want you to be able to do that, because you know what works best for your area. So we thought we would do that to bless people with, because Wanda and I really like to bless people. And as we go into this gardening season, this one's going to be a challenge, guys. We got a lot of unusual weather coming this year. So I want to see everybody have something to grow, and I want you to grow. Okay, that's our goal this year. Thank you from Pecan Grove.